I've traveled to a lot of places in the United States, and I've recorded absolutely everything, whether it be nature, wildlife, strange anomalies, etc. But every day, when the sun goes down and the moon rises, there's an animal that's piqued my curiosity for years, and it's an owl. Now, over the years, I've posted videos about owls, and everybody always reminds me that they're evil, that they're tied to the Illuminati, etc. Well, that isn't my fascination, but I'm going to explain to you why the Illuminati, or the elites, use the owl as their symbol.
He's back! He's back! You can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it! He won't.
And before we start this video, I'm going to ask you to hit that subscribe button as well as a little bell next to it so you're notified of all new videos. Here we go. Over the years, I've made a lot of videos about owls. My neighbor turned me on to bird watching, and I picked the owl out of all the other birds because it was so difficult to get on video. Well, it turns out I'm not the only one that is entranced with the owl, we'll call it. Others have quite the interest in it, and it goes back thousands of years, and I'm going to take you down that road right now. According to historians, 30,000 years ago in the Chivat cave in southern France, this image was drawn into the side of a cave. And ever since, owls have been used in Hollywood, owls have been used by the occult, owls have been used by the elites. They're always considered scary. They're always hard to find because they're at nighttime. I've gone to great lengths, and yes, many places that I've gone searching for owls are rather spooky. It is what it is. They like to be alone, they're pretty much solitary, and they hunt for animals that don't usually come out when people are around. So you usually find them in cemeteries, abandoned barns, by the ocean, large fields, and I've gone to all these places, and I've gone to great lengths to find these things. I've traveled the bayous looking for owls and found them. And it was awesome. I fell in quicksand, but it is what it is. I've traveled through the desert searching for burrowing owls. I've put in some serious mileage. I've even built lean-tos so I could stay the night and try to blend into the environment. And it did work. You'll find owls where you won't find anything else. Put it that way. But the whole point of this video is the elites. People that are the elites, people that run the world, run countries, run presidents, have been worshiping and utilizing the owl for time immemorial. And I'm going to explain all that to you. Going all the way back to the earliest human records and the earliest human maps and writings, owls have been held sacred by every country in one regard or another. In Abyssinia, the Hamites held the owl to be sacred. In Afghanistan, the owl gave man flint and iron to make fire. In exchange, man gave the owl his feathers. Central Africa, the owl is the familiar of the wizards to the Bantu. Southern Africa, the Zulus know the owl as the sorcerer's bird. In Australia, Aborigines believed bats represent the souls of men and owls the souls of women. Owls are therefore sacred because your sister is an owl, and the owl is your sister. The Aztecs believed one of the evil gods wore a screech owl on his head. In Babylon, owl amulets protected women during childbirth. In Brittany, an owl seen on the way to the harvest is the sign of a good yield. In Burma, during a quarrel among the birds, the owl was jumped upon, so his face was flattened. In Cameroon, too evil to name, the owl is only known as the bird that makes you afraid. The Celtic the owl is a sign of the underworld. In China, the owl is associated with lightning because it brightens the night, and with the drum because it breaks the silence. Placing owl effigies in each corner of the home protects it against lightning. The owl is a symbol of too much yang, positive, masculine, bright, active energy. In Greenland, the Inuit see the owl as a source of guidance and help. Hawaii, owl features in old war chants. The Incas venerated the owl for its beautiful eyes and head. In Iran, in Farsi, the little owl is called Johedbe Kokek. It is said that this bird brings bad luck. In Islam, it's forbidden to eat. That also holds true in the Christian Bible as well. In Ireland, an owl that enters the house must be killed at once, for if it flies away, it will take the luck of the house with it. Israel, in Hebrew lore, the owl represents blindness and desolation and is unclean. Jamaica, to ward off the owl's bad luck, cry salt and pepper for your mammy. And it goes on and on and on. Every single country has some folklore, some curse, some luck associated with the owl. Owls fly at night. They're nocturnal. They fly silently. Their ability to catch prey, even when they can't see it, is almost mystical. It's almost amazing. It is amazing. And for the casual onlooker, owls can seem downright alien. For instance, listen to this. And when you tie all these things together, it's easy to see why every country on Earth, every culture has a story about the owl. Like this, for instance. Lechuza. The legend of La Lechuza is the one that can be heard all over Mexico. It is said that a lechuza, or owl, specifically a white owl, is a bruja, or a witch, that has taken its form in this owl. Now, there are small owls that are believed to be witches, but the legend of La Lechuza is a giant owl. Some say it's white. It's 7 feet tall and has a wingspan of 15 feet. And although it is an owl, it is said to have the face of an old woman. This specific lechuza has been reported only in Chihuahua, Coahuila, Durango, Nuevo León, and Tampiales, and in the Rio Grande Valley of Texas and California, especially Southern California. Legends say that the cry of the lechuza mimics the cry of a baby or whistles to lure you outside, much like a harpy or a siren song. Now, for the brevity of this video, I'll leave links below. If you're interested in this, I'll leave links to the entire story. But for the video's sake, we're trying to keep it fairly short. But the owl is one of the first things to ever be discovered carved in stone. One of the first things. And it's still venerated and worshipped to this day in this country, the United States of America. Pretty much in plain sight, but most people don't see it. So here we go, the meat and potatoes. Weaving spiders come not here. That is a label or a placard you'll find all around Bohemian Grove. A club that allegedly didn't exist until it did. The phrase "weaving spiders come not here" was referring to reporters. Do not report on what we do here. Period. And it stood for a long, long time, until social media. For almost 100 years, the elites of this world enjoyed meeting at the Bohemian Grove, undetected, unmolested, unreported. Presidents, ambassadors, senators, CEOs, many times in conflict with laws protecting American citizens from their presidents meeting with people they're not supposed to be meeting with. It all went unreported, unnoticed.
Originating during the French Revolutionary days. You know, there we had the actual order of the Illuminati, with Adam Weishaupt and all of his evil philosophers, let's just call them, Voltaire and the others. And that has come up all the way to today. Hitler, of course, was a Bohemian. I think it's more Babylon mystery religion. All of the elements are there. Of course, even the owl is a symbol of ancient mystery Babylon. The owl was worshipped by the ancient Egyptians and by the Babylonians. And it's interesting to me that many of the members of the Bohemian Grove have in their homes, as I understand it, small figurines of owls.
So what exactly is their fascination with the owl? Throughout medieval history, the owl was associated with evil because it was active at nighttime, which was considered dangerous times of the night. However, the Illuminati considered it a guardian who stands alert so others can rest through the night. It's seen as a totem representing wisdom, its eyes ever watchful for the morning to approach and for the guiding light to re-emerge over the horizon. Another attribute they admired was the owl's ability to see completely in the dark, enlightened. And this brings us to Moloch, this happy little fella. Evidence concerning Moloch worship in ancient Israel is found in the legal as well as in the historical and prophetic literature of the Bible. In the Pentateuch, the laws of the Holiness Code speak about giving or passing children to Moloch. Throughout antiquity, sacrifice might have been utilized in times of great strife, but one cult stands out from the rest for its brutality, the cult of Moloch. The alleged Canaanite god of child sacrifice. The cult of Moloch or Molech is said to have boiled children alive in the bowels of a big bronze statue with the body of a man and the head of a bull. Offerings, at least according to some inscriptions of the Hebrew Bible, were reaped through either fire or war, and it's rumored that devotees can still be found to this day. And for people that might think this is all stuff that's way back in the old days, it's all tales from the Bible, well, many years ago, a YouTuber allegedly snuck in to Bohemian Grove. Now, that's not possible because the Bohemian Grove has Secret Service. It has all the top-notch security that's afforded to a president, an ambassador, a senator, a CEO, etc. But nonetheless, it appeared at the time that the men running this place wanted people to know what they were doing, because that's how they operate. At any rate, here's the video footage of the man that actually snuck in here and stood and watched them in front of their giant owl deity named Moloch, doing what's called the cremation of care. Let's pop a little disclaimer in. No matter what you or I think about the man that actually got this video, it doesn't make any difference because the video is still actually real. I don't believe he snuck in. I believe he was invited in because they wanted us to see this.
The owl is in his leafy temple. Let all within the grove be reverent before him. Lift up your heads, O ye trees, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting spires. For behold, here is Bohemian shrine, and holy are the pillars of this house. Weaving spiders, come not near. the ripple of waters, song of birds, such music as inspires the sinking soul, do we invite you into midsummer's joy. Sky above is blue, sown with stars. The forest floor is heaped with fragrant drift. Evening's cool kiss is yours. The campfires glow. The birth of rosy fingered dawn. Shake off your sorrows with the city's dust and cast to the winds the cares of life. Let memory bring back the well-loved names of gallant friends who knew and loved this grove. Dear boon companions of the long ago. Aye, let them join us in this rhythm. Not a place be empty in our midst. Oh, beauty's vassals, who hold in this gray autumn of the world her springtime in your heart, attend our tale. Gather, ye forest folk, and cast your spell over these mortals. Touch their world-blind eyes with fairy open their eyes and blow all the memories of yesterday and seal the gates of sorrow. It is a dream, and yet not all a dream. Dull care in all of his works are but a dream. As vanished Babylon and goodly Tyre, so shall they also vanish. But the wilding rose blows on the broken battlements of Tyre, and moss rends the stones of Babylon. For beauty is eternal, and we bow to beauty everlasting. For lasting happiness, we turn to one alone, and she surrounds you now. Great nature, refuge of the weary heart, and only balm for breasts that have been bruised. We have cool hands for every fevered brow, and gentlest silence for the troubled soul. The counsels are most wise. She healeth well, having such ministries as calm and sleep. She is ever faithful. Other friends may fail, but seek ye her in any quiet place. Smiling, she will rise and give to you her kiss. So must ye come as children. Little children that believe nor ever doubt her beauty and her faith, nor deem her tenderness can change or die. And priests, the desperate call of heavy hearts is answered by the power of your fellowship. Dull care is slain. His body has been brought yonder from the funeral pyre to the joyous pipings of a funeral march. Our funeral pyre awaits the corpse of care. Across the shadowy tide, and all the ancient majesty of death. No ardent enemy of beauty. Not for thee the tender tribute or the restful grave. Fire shall have its will of thee, and all the winds Make merry with thy dust. Bring fire!
When will he learn that me he cannot slay? Year after year he burned me in this grove, lifting your puny shouts of triumph to the stars. But when again he turned your faces to the marketplace, do ye not find me waiting as of old? Fools to dream ye conquer care.
Now this part, there's no audio because I received a copyright strike. And if you notice, it's from the Order of the Baphomet. It's from 2007 to 2025 by the Black Lodge. It's not music, it's men talking. It's the Order of the Baphomet. That's real.
And some of us prevail against thee, and some thou shalt destroy. But this too we know. Year after year within this happy grove, our fellowship bans thee for a space. Thy malevolence which would pursue us here has lost its power under these friendly trees. So shall we burn thee once again this night, and in the flames that eat thine effigy, we shall read the sign, Midsummer sets us free.
Ye shall burn me once again! Not with these flames, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign. Ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire.
We thank thee for thy adjuration. shall have its will of thee. Begone, old care, and all the winds make merry with thy doubts. Hail, fellowship's eternal flame. Once again, midsummer sets us free.
So maybe you're thinking that was a long time ago, and certainly they don't do that anymore. Well, actually they do. And you'd be amazed how much these people do worship the owl. I mean, the owl is built into the infrastructure of the capital of the United States of America. That's Washington, D.C. right there. And as you can clearly see, the owl of Minerva, or the owl known as Moloch, is built right into society's capital. Now, the ritual these guys were engaging in that was caught on a hidden camera, allegedly, is called the cremation of care. According to Science Direct, a paper written back in March 2016, the paper is called The Cremation of Care Ritual, Burning of Effigies or Human Sacrifice Murder. The importance of differentiating complex trauma from schizophrenia in extreme abuse settings. Under the paper's objectives, the purpose of the paper is to raise awareness and signpost professional development resources regarding extreme abuse, quote-unquote, death cults that operate largely with impunity across the world. So this isn't just someone like myself telling you about this. This is from a published paper that you can find on the internet. I'll leave links below. This stuff has been going on for a long time. And according to the paper, there are supporters of abuse survivors who bore witness to and believe disclosures of extreme abuse and ritual violence, and false memory adherents who consider ritual abuse an unfounded, quote-unquote, moral panic. Survivors provide chilling accounts of ritual killings in Scott 2001, Becker, Carricker, Overkamp, and Rutz 2008, and Epstein, Schwartz, and Schwartz 2011. In the wake of institutional abuse inquiries and the unbelievable child abuse perpetrated by celebrities like Jimmy Savile and Ian Watkins, a new reality in settings that child abuse is pervasive. Long story longer is, the cremation of care is such a real thing that scientists, psychologists have been studying it for years. This stuff goes on whether people want to understand it or not, and it goes on all around you. I mean, this is the latest example that nobody believed. This was a complete conspiracy theory until Netflix did a show on it.
you raise your hand, please? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter now pending shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
For years, people were talking about people like Epstein and others that were engaging in all sorts of crazy things with children, underaged, etc., etc. Well, at the Bohemian Grove, the cremation of care, allegedly, nobody actually has footage of this, started out with actually sacrificing a child in order to cremate their cares. Basically, wipe their consciences clean, as it were. And then as the years passed and more people got eyes on this entire procedure, the cremation of care, it turned into burning an effigy. These guys have been doing this for a long time. A long time. And it all centers around Molech, the owl. At any rate, I think I've gone on long enough in here. You should have a good idea of what's going on. I'll leave links in the description box below so you can research this more if you're inclined to do so. It's totally your call. But what we see, what we hear, and what they tell us, and what's completely real are two very, very different things. At any rate, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below, and I'll try to return the favor if the video's still up. I'm out.